Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Jacksonville Jaguars Insider Podcast. My name is John Shipley. I am your host and beat reporter, and I've been your beat reporter covering the Jacksonville Jaguars for On SI every single day since August 2019. And you can follow along with us once again for another offseason together. As always, you can find all of our 100% free 24/7 boots on the ground coverage of the Jacksonville Jaguars when you follow us on social media such as Facebook and Twitter at Jaguars on SI. You can also find us at www.si.com/NFL/Jaguars. Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Jacksonville Jaguars Insider Podcast. Like we've done so many times since he was drafted in April. Today we will be talking about Travis Hunter and then a little bit else. First things first, star Jaguars defensive end Josh Hines-Allen, probably the favorite player I've covered in my career, on and off the field. A+ human being, A+ football player, best Jags defender I've ever seen, etc. He went on the Rich Eisen show earlier this week or maybe over the weekend, and he was asked a variety of questions from Eisen, and a few of them stood out to me. Two of them had to do with Travis Hunter. Now, the very first one is, he was asked straight up by Rich Eisen, which side of the ball do you think he's going to play more, offense or defense? And Hines-Allen said, quote, "So I think offense. But again, you stick him on that defensive side of the ball as well, he's going to make a play." And I think for us, it's just communication. If he can be able to communicate with everybody else in the back end, know the difference between if we're in cover one, if we're in man, cover two to cover three, how do we play those? Do we carry these? And if he can get those basics out of it, yes, I think everybody else is going to work with him. And then you have guys up front that are just rushing. So now we can get to the quarterback in 2 or 3 seconds and affect the quarterback, put the ball in the air, let's see if we can make a play, which we know he can. So that is significant, I think, and I think a lot of it's probably just going off how he was used in the offseason program, which was, I'd say, about 80%, 85% offense. Spent most of his offseason practices, which was 2 rookie mini camps, 10 OTAs, and 3 mandatory mini camps, I believe. I think he spent around 10 to 11 days on offense, a couple days on defense. He, of course, the last day of mini camp split his time between both offense and defense, ended up moving to defense during the last period of practice. I've never seen anything like that, but it's just clear this guy is different. His teammates know it. It's not something that has to be explained. I'm not even sure, and this isn't to say he's not doing this. He's obviously earning it every day when he goes out there. The things you hear about his work ethic, not just publicly from his teammates and coaches, but when speaking to people privately in the building, he is everything that he was advertised as and more, just in terms of the work ethic, the competitor, the person, all those things. So his teammates know this about him. He doesn't have to go out there and show that he's a talent who can play 2 positions. They've already seen it. But what it is one of the leaders, maybe even the leader of the defense, one of the leaders of the team, one of the best players in franchise history, knows that as long as he is able to do a couple of things and work diligently at them, as a defender, he's not thinking they're getting gypped by him playing offense and even potentially playing offense more. I thought that was a potential thing that could happen, not with the Jaguars, but when Travis was entering the NFL. Like, will there be some teammates who, say he got drafted by the Cleveland Browns and the Browns defense stunk next year? Would some Browns teammates be upset about him being used more at wide receiver? That was a legitimate thought of mine. And I think it's clear from Hines-Allen's comments that isn't the case. As long as he prepares himself, as long as he does the things he has to do off the field to be ready to play 2 positions, it seems like his teammates are all in on him and his talents. And it's easy to see why. It's easy to see why he's a guy who people gravitate towards. He certainly has that kind of energy and deposition about him. And then you just add in the things that they've seen him do on the football field, and it makes complete sense why they are all in on this guy. And then he gave another quote on him, which I've racked this thought around in my brain some, but he put it better than I potentially think I've seen it put before. So Hines-Allen, was asked about Hunter, and he mentioned, we have a really good number one receiver, Hines-Allen said. He also said the Jaguars have a really good number one cornerback. So while there's a lot of stress put on Hunter and a lot on his plate, the Jaguars have a way to take that burden off of him some. And he said, quote, you got Brian Thomas Jr., a guy who stepped on the scene last year and did his thing, and expect the same things to happen again this year. So again, all that burden on that side of the ball doesn't have to be put on him. Just catch the ball, make some plays, do what you do, awesome. Because you got a number one receiver out there who we know is going to make a lot of plays. And then you go on the other side and you look at corner one. You got Tyson Campbell, who's been having one of the best camps that I've seen him have since he's been here. And so you have another guy that can travel and can, play the offense's best receiver. So now it's going to put you in a better position to make plays. So again, the pressure is just for him, obviously, to stay healthy. And this is to do what you do. You have guys that can take the burden because we are a team, and I think we're a well-balanced team that can kind of help everybody, especially him. And we want to help him and I think he's going to be one of the best players in the National Football League at one point. For right now, just all about being the best teammate. And I know he is, and, continue to keep making plays. This is the Jaguars' soon-to-be franchise leader in sacks saying he thinks the rookie, who he's known all for a couple of months and has practiced with 13 times, can be one of the best players in the entire NFL. And I think it's a very poignant point by Hines-Allen to note that because of guys like Brian Thomas and because of guys like Tyson Campbell, Travis Hunter is the rare number 2 overall pick who isn't going to be asked to be the best player at his position on his team right away. I'm not going to ask him to be the best receiver or the best corner. Can he develop into either one of those? Absolutely. But the pressure is not on him to be an all-pro right out of the gate at either position because the Jaguars already have 2 really top talents at the position. If Tyson Campbell had been able to stay healthy the last 2 seasons, he's probably being talked about as a consensus top 10 cornerback. A really talented guy when healthy. Still a really young guy. Had, like Hines-Allen mentioned, a fantastic offseason. So Hines-Allen, I thought, made a lot of good points in his interview when it came to Hunter. He's always a smart guy, well thought out, who makes you think, and this interview was no different. Now, on the topic of Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas, to close out the show, it also looked like the Jaguars and many pieces of their offensive skill room were in the Bahamas last week, doing some off-season training and team bonding. We saw Travis Hunter was there, Brian Thomas was there, De'Ami Brown was there and posted a video of it on his YouTube. Trevor Lawrence was there. I saw Josh Cephas there, saw Travis Etienne there, saw Hunter Long there, and probably so many, other guys. It's been a consistent theme for Lawrence to get together kind of with his whole skill group. Britton Strange was there as well. For Lawrence to get together with his whole skill group when it comes to this, time of the season. And we've also seen him especially place an emphasis on it when he gets new guys in the lineup, guys like De'Ami Brown and Travis Hunter. So a really positive thing for the Jaguars, obviously, for them to, get that team bonding and camaraderie in. I definitely screwed that up. Excuse me in my elementary school speech classes. But it's absolutely a positive thing for the franchise to see their stars and really their whole offense essentially get together for these type of workout sessions. No, it won't be the difference between 4 and 13, but every rep these guys take together, especially Lawrence with De'Ami Brown and Travis Hunter, can only help them. He has a lot of experience, Brian Thomas. Not as much as he would have if he had played a full 17-game season, of course. So they can still make strides there. But just getting on some similar pages with them before training camp is obviously very big and very advantageous for everybody really involved. So thank you guys for listening to today's episode of the Jacksonville Jaguars Insider Podcast. My name is John Shipley. Please find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify streams, and all other podcast platforms. And don't forget to find us on YouTube at Sports Videos on SI.